So I think part of it is like, we've never taken someone like you into a room with the CMO. Like, we've never done it. Like, I think, like, you look at a Ryan Reynolds, why he's been pretty successful in doing some of the things he's done. It's like he's in that room selling himself or selling his POV. I think one of the things is, like, our relationship with people like you that are creators, not just actors, is that, like, oh, we've got this idea, well, let's talk to you about it after it's done, versus like, no, actually, let's bring you in on the beginning part of it, and then let's actually bring you to the meeting where we're talking to the CMOs or talking to these brand managers. Maybe we've got it a little bit wrong, or we've got to get a little bit more clever in figuring out, like, how to get someone of your talent and your voice involved in brands. Because I don't think it's just a WPP, we don't do enough funny work. It's the entire business. I mean, and comedy is blowing up. And there's so many different streaming services that are showing so many great comedic shows. I feel like there's more comedians out there than ever.
Because we're needed.
Yeah, exactly.
We're heading into a really bad time. We've been in a bad time for the last 3 years. And now the economy is down. Now is the time when comedy when we really show up. This is when, I think our purpose is special, because we've been in a recession, and now people want to laugh. People want to go to a movie theater. I remember when we did the horrors comedy years ago, and people was lined up in the floors. We broke records on that one. People was on the floor in the aisles laughing. Like, yo, I can't believe this. And we had all kind of crazy stuff going on. Brands shouldn't be afraid of being integrated with things that have eyes. Let them, because that audience, and it's like you can't be super protective, but how do you do it to where you need a little bit of edge and make everybody happy? But the eyes are what's important.
So we're dealing often with shorter formats.
Yeah.
And you're an incredible storyteller and joke teller, but stories, but what's your process for creating, like you say, there's a formula to being funny. Is there a formula in your mind? I think
you have to figure out your own formula, and that takes 10 years, right? It's there's no cheat code. It's outliers, man. You gotta log the time. You want to fly an airplane 10,000 hours, you could become a pro, right? I'd stay on the stage. The more I stay on the stage, the better I can articulate and be like, oh no, here's how you make that funny. I like that idea. Yeah. But what about this? And I may go too far, and you're like, all right, cool. Then let me go to the drawing board with these 6 minds. We're gonna come back to you. Give me what it is. Who you trying to get? Boom, let's go get it. It's just that simple. When I do a joke, I cast a wide net, right? Yeah. Some people in the audience are gonna be offended when I first say it. They're like, "Oh no!" But I've learned the art of making them beg for it. Yeah. I have a joke that's so dark, and I'm like, I ain't gonna tell it. Like, come on, man, come on. I'm like, nah. And they beg me for 5 minutes, and then finally I tell the joke, and they're like, oh. And they can't be mad at me because they beg me for the joke. Yeah. People want to laugh. I always say humor saved my life. I should have been in a severe depression after losing my mom, my dad, and 57 people after COVID. Yeah. The only thing that has kept me going is my point of view of life and my love and my zest for life and making people laugh. Even though with my pain, I talk about my mom, I talk about my dad, I talk about the
you
loss.
talk about a lot of serious things, political issues.
But I make them laugh. Yeah. What's funny about it? I'm just sitting there. I don't have like an opinion about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I do, but my whole goal is to bring people together, not to separate them. I'm not, and that your intention has to be ingrained in your performance. What is your intention? My intention is always to bring everybody together. I want to tell that one joke that makes the whole world laugh.
But people know that. I mean, it's a good lesson for brands about being consistent. I think you've been so consistent over your career. This isn't a new thing you're doing. You've been doing this the whole time, and I think a brand consistency is an important thing. Yeah. What can brands learn from someone like you of how to be successful for a long period of time?
I'm actually learning from brands like you guys on how to be successful for a long period of time. Like in talking about branding my brand, I look at the great brands. I look at the Coca-Colas, and I just go, you have to have a consistency and something different. Yeah. There's something that you offer that no other product offers. Something different. And you know your audience, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like there's so much more audience to give. I don't think a lot of brands understand really how to target the African-American audience that way, the family that way. I feel like they cast this really wide net, yet are afraid to get specific. And I think you got to get a little more specific because people feel left out. And to be all-inclusive, all right, I'm going to do one for them, do one for them, do one for... The people that you're making fun of laugh the loudest. That's what me and my family have been able to do over the years.
Now, why do you think they're laughing the loudest? What's...
It's our family recipe, man.
Yeah, you can't give it away. I feel like it's like the KFC secret recipe.
You can't
give it away.
We don't even. I couldn't even tell you what it is, except for we come from a good place, right? So they say you can't do a movie like that movie where you got two black guys turning into the. No, you can't. I can. You know why? With that movie, you know who loved that movie the most? The people we were making fun of. So
that was loosely based or not so loosely based off the Hilton sisters, correct? And I've gotten to know Paris a little bit. I've met her a couple times, and she's kind of amazing what she's... I mean, from that period of time to what she's doing now, being an actor, a producer,
DJ,
and also like doing brands,
she's
high-end brands, left-end brands, and like
the Kardashians are writing us the sequel. God.
So, have you ever run into her? Has that ever been like something? And like you talked about it, you know, it's like
it's all love. Like I think
amazing.
At first they were like, "What in the hell?" And then I think once they saw it and they saw how iconic it was, I think it's, I just recently saw her at an event maybe a year and a half ago that we did. It's this place, Sneakotopia. And it was all love. I mean, it's all respect.
Yeah. But, I do think like she is, very involved with brands and too. And like we've talked a lot about it. And she's like, I feel like she's really figured out how to take brands herself as a brand, social, which is an interesting thing. She's sort of carved out this niche, which is
that's what I'm actually really targeting too. I have 12 million people on Facebook. I have 6.5 million people on Instagram. I have like 2 million on the X or Twit, whatever he wants to call it, and and I got like
I think you say Twit. That's a pretty good. Yeah, it's a good. We just bought Twit, everybody. Just a very. We're going to be sued, but we actually bought Twit. But I do think that's an interesting place to go, and when you mentioned like talking to that group, that is actually probably not being talked to, the African American community, Black community, and we just invested in a company called Majority in Atlanta. Okay, it's based on having diverse leadership leads to the most disruptive creative ideas, and Shaquille O'Neal is one of the investors in this company, and we did this work. They did this work for Sprite, and their whole thing was like you can't talk to the culture. And it's based on, it's called Icons Delight. It's using Rapper's Delight and has all these new, like Glorilla does new version of it and riffs off it. But the point was, you can't talk to the culture if you're not part of the culture. Yes. So I do think that is a fairly interesting place to go for someone like you to because we're always like, how do we connect in authentic ways? And if you're just not, if you don't grow up with those life experiences, maybe you don't have the same POV on it.
And that's what makes it, will always keep us relevant, right? Is that we come from there. That is us. We are a big, Black, successful family. I posted this thing when me and my family were having this barbecue while I was cooking for them. I put it up on my Instagram maybe a month ago. It went crazy viral because they just loved seeing me and my family like a nice. It was funny. I was, it was a reverend. It was crazy. It was Wayans, but it was like there was something good natured about it, and it went everywhere.
I would watch a documentary on the family.
Oh, we're working on that.
See, now you took my idea. So
no, I told you I'm branding.
This is bullshit.
I'm branding. So, I told you. I swear. I'll show you a text that I did with Damon.
I'm going to tank your show.
I want you to. I got a text. I'm going to show you that I did with Damon.
All right.
And I get away with a lot of stuff, right? I'm mischievous. Everybody knows this about me. Yeah. I was at the fight, and I was sitting in back of Evander Holyfield. But on my way in, I walked in, I saw Mike Tyson. And I'm sitting back of Evander Holyfield, and I couldn't help but look at his ear. And I was
For those you don't know, audience,
I was comparing the two
Mike Tyson bit his ear, Evander's ear off. He didn't nibble on it. He literally ate his ear.
It looked crazy. Yeah, it was like, this one was like a human ear, and this was like a Doberman pinscher that was in a fight. Like, it lost a dog fight to a pit bull.
If Evander ever listens to this, we apologize.
Wait, so I posted it, and I put it up on social media, And then I posted another picture of me looking at the ear and him looking at Mike Tyson like, Dad, MF bit my ear. I got, I don't know, probably 500,000 likes on that. And it went shade room. Everybody, it went viral because they're like, oh, no, you didn't. And they're laughing like, I can't take you nowhere. I can have this ability to do and say things that don't get me in trouble because everybody knows that's just who I am.
But also, I think it's people underestimate it's likability. You know, I think the whole family, not to speak for the whole family, but their whole family is likable from the very beginning. Your older brother, like he came on at the end of the show or the beginning of the show, and it was just it was just like, man, it's like this guy seems so cool and so calm and so nice too. And I think that's part of it too. Is like you kind of get away with maybe some things because actually people are like, you're a nice person in the end, and I don't know, you just met you for the first time But I did see you speak at Stream, and I was like, "Wow, this guy is so nice." And you kind of know it's not an act because it's been away for long. You can't act that long.
You can't act that long.
I do this thing where I say I'm a recovering asshole. I went to coaching for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I still have that coach on my shoulder when I'm about to get angry about stuff. And my wife was listening to me once on a podcast, and she's like, "Oh, I'd like to marry that guy. Where's that guy? Because the guy I get is the opposite." I think it is a lot of work to be that positive and that likable, for it to be authentic. But it is work too, because I think people expect you to be always on all the.
I'm not always on.
As a creative person, I mean, you walked in, you were like, you just got off a flight, And then I was like, oh, I hope you're going to be, all right, because like people.
Oh, this is what I do. I show up. This is what I like.
Right.
I don't. It's not work. Isn't work for me.
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm doing something I love because work's not work.
Yeah.
I'm going to make people laugh. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have a great conversation. Going to talk about brands. These are things you got to be proactive in your prayers, and you can't complain about doing the work. You just got to do the work. You show up. You hit the mark. You do the work. And you do more of the work. If it's not working, go backstage, get everybody. Let's do more work so that the work that we're doing sticks. Yeah. We're not trying to I don't want to make anything seem like work. I want to make classics. And the only way to make classics is for you to do the work.
Yeah. I think that's a good lesson for not just the creative people who work for our company and others that will be listening is that it is hard work. You have to. There's a reason why the Patriots have won so many Super Bowls. You kind of feel like they've just worked harder, and Belichick's there in the hoodie and the sleeves and the whole thing in the corner on a Saturday night at 5 in the morning.
Could be cheating.
Could be cheating. Listen, I'm not a Patriot fan. I respect the Patriots.
Yeah, that's why I respect you.
I respect. I'm a Yankee fan. Yankee fan. I'm a Viking fan, though. I've admitted that.
Mets fans. They're weird. That's Queens, right?
I mean, are any Met fans in here? No one's going to admit that.
Yankees,
no,
man,
they are.
Yankees.
We're having a rough time. We're having a rough time.
Yeah, but they'll find the right batch of steroids sooner or later. They're finding a bad batch. When they get that good batch, that Boston batch, that Boston batch. Ramirez and Big Poppy, and their necks was swollen. It looked like they was in that Michael Jordan Space Jam movie, but with baseball.
It was always like. The pine tar on the helmets. Remember that?
Yeah.
Just why? It's like, hey, we're working class billionaires. It made me freaking crazy. Yankees, no facial hair, look like a champion, play like a champion. 27 world championships, everybody.
Look at
those
you.
listening.
You got the history down.
Die hard. I met Willie Randolph when I was a child and it changed my life.
I met Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
I met Reggie. I actually did a softball game with him and Vita Blue. And
Vita Blue, amazing A's pitcher, Vita Blue.
You know what's funny about baseball players and athletes, they just walk around the room. What's that called? The locker room, butt ass naked. And I was just like, I don't want to see y'all old penises. Can somebody put those away? I don't want to see Reggie's.
It is a rough.
I don't want to see Reggie's back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a weird shape. I took a peek, but not. I stayed long.
I met Hasselhoff once at the.
Was he naked too?
Yeah.
Wow,
I was in Santa Monica, staying at Shutters, that hotel.
Yeah, I like Shutters.
We were making some things, and I was with someone. They're like, "Hey, let's go in the sauna." And it was with one of the producers, and I was like, I don't want to go on this. I'm a pipe cleaner arms. I'm white as a ghost. I don't. It's not a look that anybody needs to see. And then we walk in, and then. And in the sauna was this guy looked like Hasselhoff. It ended up being Hasselhoff.
Wow.
And
is he one of them weird guys that go in there and he takes the towel off.
He has the towel on.
Please put your towel on.
But then he gets up and like has to put more water on the ice and flexes the arms, and he was a lovely man. And then
I bet you he has a really flat ass with a Hulk Hogan tan.
Well, all I'm saying is and this is when you're staying in the hotel, you can't get your towel. You go up to your room and shower. You're not showering in the gym.
No, that's weird.
And so of course. I've already said my goodbyes to him. Now I'm getting my shit out of the locker, and he's in the shower, and I'm literally like racing out, right? And I hear, the shower curtain opens, and all of a sudden, Hasselhoff has a towel like this, going like 1950s fab with all of the Hoff flying around.
Oh, he had the whole night right out.
And then he goes to me, he goes, "Hey, Rob, where's a good place to eat around here?" I'm thinking, don't you live here? Don't you live here? Aren't you on TV? Why am I telling you where to go to, whatever, Roko Sushi or something? And it scarred me for life.
I'm scarred by it.
I've seen all the Hoff.
That was a long story. I was at a point, I thought he was going to be like, yeah, so I'm washing his back.
Yeah.
And, he's like, hey, can you reach this spot?
Yeah. Listen, I really wanted him to be in this Popeyes chicken commercial, so I was like trying to get him into it. I love Popeyes, by the way. I worked a lot on
But
Popeyes
Wendy's,
chicken.
he did the Wendy's commercial. Oh, that wasn't a commercial. That was actually a video.
It was good. We talk about sports. Are you a crazy sports person? Or are you an athlete yourself? I mean, you turn 51.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about black 50 is different than
white
50. Because I'm 54.
You look happy. Yeah, it's the bald head.
The bald and the Botox.
If you didn't have that bald head.
Yeah, and the Botox.
That head.
Yeah, no, I look like Captain Picard.
You got that homie the clown. Captain Picard is hilarious.
Yeah. And why was that a look
but you look happy. Like you got
Jordan.
swaggy.
Yeah.
You got the Supreme logo. You got just enough of the thing rolled up. You got your collar pop. Yeah, I could take you to a club. I wouldn't be ashamed.
I feel like you did not. You were thinking like, I'm just going to roll in.
I didn't know you were going to be this. I'm
going to roll in off the plane. It's like I'm in my sleep gear.
You got me sleeping. But even off the plane.
No, it's
got my John Elliott.
You can't get that anywhere. You can't get that anywhere.
I got those Nikes on. You know what I mean? Got those.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who wins. I don't know who wins.
You do, but you got a little wrinkle right there. I need you to keep those crispy.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not collecting it. I just buy to wear.
Okay.
I'm not collecting.
That.
I'm not collecting.
Just try not to bend your feet.
I'm not having like. Can you post for the audience a picture of your room, of your sneaker room?
Oh sure.
Yeah, that'd be hot.
I will. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
All right, let's
check it out.
Look into that.
I actually do want to create some sneakers. I want to create sneakers, and I'm gonna start creating sneakers in fashion.
Have you looked into doing that in collaboration? I mean, look at Pharrell. He's doing that. I mean, guy is amazing, Pharrell. And
absolutely.
But why haven't you, if it's a passion for you, you think you could add to it, whether it's the structure of how they're made and what the design might be like, why haven't you approached, or how do you get, what's the process in that?
I think you have to be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? I do so much, right? I'm not just a comedian, not just an actor. I'm not just a writer. I'm not just a producer. I'm not just, I do a lot. Yeah. And so I try to be patient with when it's time to expand, because I got to get excellent at this and get this to it. It's like a chef in the kitchen. I got to get this cooking. Yeah. That's going to put the eggs on. All right, whip that up. We got this in the oven. And now that I got all this working, I'm like, all right, now how do I brand me? What brands do I associate with, and how do I brand me? Like I was up in Napa and I went wine tasting because I want to start the family vineyard. I'm looking into those things. I look at brands like even Paul Newman's brand. I would love to do that for for us. You know what I mean? To have that kind of thing with a give back. I love that there's a component that gives back, and I want to do that to all the the hoods that we came from. Yeah. Because I still think we're forgetting that poverty exists. Yeah. We're forgetting that, that those things need attention. I think the difference between my family and all the other families that we kind of grew up with was we had the guidance of my mother, my father, and then my older brothers took the reins and showed us the way. So I go back to my neighborhood. I give them Christmas. I give them. I rebuilt their gym. I rebuilt their community center, or was a part of that. And I go back, and it's right there in 16th Street and 9th Avenue. Chelsea, that's my old neighborhood we grew up in. So I always go there, and those kids are still there, and I go give them talks and let them know. Because if I could find 2 kids and keep them out of trouble, out of whatever kids, then I did something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did something. Because who knows who's the next Wayans family. If I can inspire that, I'm there.
Listen, I think if you're starting a brand like the give back part of it is, I remember Newman's, he didn't know how good it was, but it's like, oh, Paul Newman, he gives back part of that or all of it. I don't know what his deal was, and like it made you want to buy it more.
Right.
So there is a bit of a hook to do that. What gives you the inspiration? People always ask me, like, how do you get creative inspiration? I'm like, I don't know. I just keep my eyes up. I'm curious. I'm a curious person. So, like, how much is curiosity baked into your creative process? I mean, you talked a little bit about learning things like TikTok, but, like, where else do you find it?
Everywhere. Like, I'll be in the shower. I'll be on an airplane. You get inspired. God whispers to you. And you see it and you go, oh, my God. I'll watch a movie. I'm inspired. I stay inspired. So wherever I go, it's not like I need to go to a place to create. Whenever I have to create, what am I creating around? All right, who am I creating with? All right, how do we make this happen? And how do we appeal to the most people we can and make them and still stick with what authentic thought or inspiration that we had? You got to let go in order to create that thing that you really wanted to create in the first place. So that's what the integrity of whatever art. You have to keep the integrity, but you got to let it go. Because, that baby's going to get notes. You got to go through life, and then you get it back. And then you shape all those things. You go, now this is the product.
So talk about international. We got a lot of people who work all over the WBB is the largest in the world. We've got people who are going to listen to this in Japan. If you've ever been to Japan, it's like one of the most inspiring design places in the world, Tokyo. What's your thought on, like, does your creativity travel?
Absolutely. When we did one of our movies, the horror comedy,
it's called Yell Loudly.
No, that was the other one. Oh, that was the one that we made fun of.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it made $167 million here, and then made $167 million overseas. My last 4 movies on the N platform were #1 in every country around the world. They don't tell you this. #1.
Why don't they tell you this?
That's just how the new world order is. But #1, my special, my last 3 specials, headliners, you know what it is, and God Loves Me, #1, #2, and #3 on HBO Max. Around the world. Wherever
around the world.
My numbers are crazy. I'm like the best hidden secret. It's universal. And our comedies always travel overseas. When I go to Brazil, they scream, "Branquelas, branquelas, branquelas." You understand? People play the song. They dance in the street. They dress in the costumes. It's crazy. It's huge. I went to Punta del Este in Uruguay. Cars was stopping. Oh my God, Shorty, yo son. They was hitting me for, people love us worldwide.
But why? I mean, it's an amazing thing. Like, this is the thing that every brand wishes they can create a platform that travels, and we sit there and say, oh, does this work? Because it's like, well, if it's so universally loved, it's going to be somewhat generic or somewhat watered down. So what is that secret, without giving away any secrets? Because I think it's a thing that we all want as creators, and certainly in advertising and branding. Like, what's that idea that when it lands in culture, people write about, people love, share, and spread?
You got to trust the artist, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what we do. People love what we do. It's like giving Miles Davis a song and going, okay, here, do My Funny Valentine just like this. And Miles looks at the music, yeah, I hear that, but that bullshit, I'm going to make it up from the key of C. And he just does his thing. You trust Miles with My Funny Valentine, and it comes out brilliant, and the audience loves it. Because Miles did what he wanted to do, but it's still My Funny Valentine.
So we're using things like AI and data to influence potentially like ideas, and sometimes we use AI and ChatGPT and DALL-E too, and to get ideas or get inspiration or try things out. But like, are you using things like data, without it sounding too nerdy, to like you've learned some things that have worked? Are you using it so when you're creating the next special, like, there's got to be a reason besides you being hilarious and funny and a great writer and all, and talking about things authentically, but do you use stuff like data, and do you get feedback from around the world, say, this works?
No, I trust my instincts.
Yeah.
I think this is a game of instance. It's the difference between a creative and like a chat GTP or any AI is they don't have the life experience.
Yeah.
You can't replicate what I've gone through.
Yeah.
Well, like snowflakes that come to from the sky. You'll never find they all have this journey. They all land and they all melt. You never find one just like they never. Yeah. And that's people. Everybody's experience is different. AI can't replicate my life experience. What school I went to, how I got out of that fight with that bully. Just the little things that I've gone through in my journey that makes me me. And so I go off instinct. Everything I've ever done is to get better at the art of telling jokes and telling stories and being able to present them, right? I stayed out of trouble my whole life because I know my purpose. End game is to be a big brand and to be associated with big brands. So I can't do dumb shit.
Yeah, of course
you do
not.
dumb shit.
Yeah.
So I don't get in trouble. I don't drink and drive. I hit Uber. I hit Lyft. Whatever drink I drink, I drink 3 and then I go home. But I'm not going to drink and drive. And I tell my kids, don't drink and drive. I don't do dumb shit. It's all about choices. Make good choices in life.
But it's interesting. Our whole business is based on insights. And it's the same business for you. Like your like insights or life experiences that they're universal. You know, and that's why probably their movies and your specials have traveled so well.
And it's all instinct. I don't overthink it. Because we have to work fast, right? So
we overthink stuff.
We overthink it.
Our business is a lot of overthinking and over.
You can't. My last special I did in 4 months. It was based on the Chris Rock Will Smith slap.
What happened? What happened there? Was there something that happened?
It was a little slap. But I did a special based on it.
It's my favorite
God
part
Loves
of your
Me.
special.
Right.
Yeah.
But what it is was I wanted to get it out. So I'm not going to sit on that and tour that for 5 years. Yeah. No, I write it, I do it on stage, and I go, I'm going to film it. Because I know that I don't need to sit with it that long. I do that, and now what's next?
So now I'm going to the rapid fire. This is how we end each episode. If you're willing to end, I know you've got a lot to do. And these are just quick answers here. Books or movies? What's your passion? It's obvious that maybe it's movies, but
movies. But I learn more from. I've read some great books. I just don't have the time to read as much.
It's a lot of work.
When I retire, I'll do more books and less movies.
It's a lot of work to read.
Yeah,
I try. My wife's like, you should read more books. I'm like, yeah, I should work less and read more books. But in the meantime, I want to go play basketball and I want to watch football.
Oh, you ball?
Yeah. Well, I'm learning. But during COVID, because soccer, you need a bunch of people. My friend Dave Rolfe, who's the head of production for WPP, he's a great basketball player, and we were living close to each other. So he taught me how to play basketball. And I feel like I'm like a Rodman. I'm a hustler.
I would never play with you.
You want. I pass you the ball. No, you love me.
You're gonna hurt me.
No.
You're one of those guys that play good defense and
I'm good.
with the hairy chest, and I don't want that. Man,
I am Italian.
I bet you won't score on me. You're that guy. I don't want to get fouled. I just want to shoot. That's all.
But you want me because I feed you the ball. I get the rebound. And I feed you the ball.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Just I won't play against you because then you're the guy with the good defense, and I don't want that guy. He hurts me.
So, are you a night owl or morning person?
I'm a night owl because I like to stay up till the sun comes up.
Oh. Do you work it? Is there a time, is it like
I work,
3 to 6?
I wake up at like
11.
11. I hit the gym. I have to hit the gym 5-6 days a week. I have to hit the gym. It starts my whole life, and then I'll write.
So is the gym part of your creative process?
Yes. The gym, the sauna, because it's my me time. My blood's going. My blood is flowing. Things is happening. I'm inspired. I'm sweating. I'm thinking, and I'm like, that's where I come up with most of my stuff. That and in the shower is when I come up with most of my ideas.
So when you're working, you're feeling good about yourself that you're working out, but also like what's coming out is ideas.
Absolutely.
Interesting. No one's ever said that. So okay, last song you listened to. Is there a genre of music or a song that people would be surprised that you're into?
I was doing karaoke this weekend in Vegas. I was staying at the Virgin Hotel.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shout out to Virgin.
Yeah, Virgin, client of ours. Virgin Cruises. There you go. Yeah, hey, nice job. Gang. Virgin Cruises just did a J-Lo AI thing, if you've seen it. It's very funny.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
All right, we should do a Marlon AI thing.
Yeah,
sure, why not? Okay.
It's not crazy.
I was karaokeing, and I put on Marvin Sapp's Never Could Have Made It. It's a gospel song. I was sang the hell out of it because I can't sing, but I was yelling my behind off because I was just thinking about my year and all that I've been through and how grateful I am to God that he's given me the perspective that I have so that I remain grateful and I remain looking forward to smiling and that nothing is happening to me. Everything is happening for me.
It's great. Amazing. What's your hidden secret talent?
I play piano a little bit.
But you say you don't sing. I bet you sing pretty well. I bet
I can't.
Can anybody in the Wayans family sing?
We can all mimic.
Yeah.
We can make it laugh. I can do it good enough to make you laugh.
Yeah.
Like if I had a sketch and I had to sing and like me and my sister, we'd be riffing, it would sound like we could sing, but we sing good enough to make you laugh.
So a little piano. So that's good.
Yeah,
next time we wish we had a piano in here.
I would have played.
Well,
I could play Stevie Wonder's Ribbon in the Sky.
Wow, it's deep.
Yeah.
Favorite season?
I like fall because my clothes is really dope in the fall.
Yeah, I agree.
What I mean? Like,
I agree. You know,
fall is my favorite clothes.
I wear a lot of hats, and I don't have a summer hat because it's always those straw hats.
You got a nice head.
Yeah, thank you.
You're like a
nice shaped head. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like the popcorn jelly bean. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like that.
Your brother's bald.
Yeah, he inspired you. Him and Jordan. Actually, before
Jordan started. He made this.
That's why
acceptable.
Jordan is so dope.
He made this acceptable.
Yes.
He didn't need to shave his head. He didn't. He just did it.
No, he needed to shave it.
He was?
Yeah, he needed to shave it.
Right, we'll do the research on that. I'm not so sure. Michael's going to be doing this. Listen, I got 3 more questions.
Go for it.
If you could hang out with a fictional character, who would it be? Living or dead?
A fictional character, like somebody that don't exist?
Yeah. Well, someone that, you've created so many characters, right? But I'm saying if there's like Al Pacino in The Godfather, Michael Corleone, like is there someone that you're like, oh man, that would have been fun to be part of that guy's life?
I'm weird. I would really love to hang out with Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny. I don't know why. I would love Daffy Duck because I would get him in so much trouble. I'd make him shoot his beak off so many times. Yeah.
It's amazing how many times he did lose the beak and it came back. Yeah.
Rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season, pow!
So 3 items on your bucket list.
A private jet.
Come on, the Wayans must have a private jet. Like Elvis's old jet you guys repainted.
I wish.
Right?
I would take James Brown's old jet and ask propellers.
It's got to have a hot tub in it. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if James Brown had a hot tub in it?
He probably did. I don't think it's so crazy.
Come on in here and get in the hot tub in the sky. A private jet, a chef.
Chef, yeah.
But I'm never home, so I don't need a chef. I would say a really dope, beach house.
Yeah.
Like Malibu. My brother has a crazy property in Malibu. It's like 7 acres.
Yeah. Maybe let's put something in the back.
He won't build on it. I'm like, bro.
Wait, so there's no, is there a house on it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
There will be.
Maybe, yeah, okay.
I'm trying to coerce him into it.
A beach house is nice.
I'm like,
for sure.
Just let me build the house. You got the land.
Yeah.
No, let me think about that. I'm just going to let it sit there for a little while. It's 30 years. Malibu's not going to be here in 5 years.
Yeah, you see the
way.
So if you had one,
and then one more thing, an everlasting life.
Everlasting life. Wow. I mean, that's the.
I never want to die.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
No, I think it's amazing.
And
I mean,
NAD and MNN is really good, by the way. You ever had it?
No.
It's 2 supplements, and NMN it helps your body to produce your natural NAD, which helps you keep your age, keeps you ageless, and it keeps your energy levels and everything. So try it.
Wow, yeah, I'd love to try it.
I'm into health.
It's a plug out there, everyone.
No, I swear to God, I have no
stock
skin in the game.
In that. No, for sure.
I ain't got no skin in the game.
Yeah. All right, last question. We know you got to go. If you had one piece of advice for your teenage self, what would it be?
I would tell my teenage self to start branding and think of himself as a brand from day one. Videotape all your experiences because everything is valuable in the journey. You have to believe that you're going to be somebody. So start treating yourself like you are a historic figure now and have cameras on you at all times, photographer with you at all time, and that you're able to tell your story while you're learning your art and telling stories.
Oh, we're not going to beat that. So this has been my pleasure. This is called Screaming Creativity. The great Marlon Wayans.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This episode was recorded during the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists strike. Screaming Creativity is produced by WPP and Hogarth and edited by Rob C. Ward at BCW.